All right. The 70th time. This is the end of our series here of meditating every single day. And sorry, I'm just doing a quick audio check here. But yeah, welcome on, everyone. Welcome on. And this is the end of a series here. So let's be happy that we completed 70 days straight, or at least we had some level of discipline, challenging ourselves every single day to meditate, spend time in silence. So you know, round of applause. But yeah, we're gonna get right into this here. So Alafi says, "What end of the series? We're gonna be back, man. We're gonna be back, but I need to take some personal time, and I'll start up again in like a month or so. But just you gotta take a break, focus on some other things, and yeah, I like the picture. It's a new picture here, huh? But yeah, so we could guide the meditation today, and yeah, if there's anything, let's see. I'm gonna put up this quote again because this is kind of this has basically been the whole path here. Quote of wisdom, but silence is a cross in which we must crucify our ego, which was by Saint Seraphim Masarov. So spending time in silence, the ego likes to come up, make excuses, likes to project all this kind of stuff. When we're silent, we cut everything out, and it feels like we're dying, but we're becoming more alive. And you're like, yeah, that profile pic is my 16 years boy. Oh, old man, old man. But yeah, why don't we get into this soon here? You can get into a comfortable position, standing or sitting, and or laying down, whichever one you prefer. As long as your spine is good, as long as your spine is nice and healthy, in a good position, you know the deal. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this time of silence. Now, close your eyes and set the intention to awaken, which basically means to see more than you normally see. And so you want to make sure that you're setting that intention, because awakening, and the core essence of awakening, is that you experience something that you never experienced before. And so, let me see. Yeah, it means that you experience something that you haven't experienced before. It means that you're going deeper in your discipline and in your self control and your mental level of, your experience mentally as well as physically. So we're going to sink deeper and experience more. So set that intention to awaken, and then let's get right into this. So start with your feet and relax your toes, relax the soles of your feet. Just feel a complete relaxation come upon your feet here. Watch how your muscles are loosening, your ability to be attentive is there and present. Feel yourself grounded in your feet, and watch as the rest of your body is also relaxing deeper into your experience. And then from your feet, you want to go up to your calves, relaxing the calf muscles, allowing all tension to dissipate, feeling and sensing your calf muscles and allowing them just to relax and release. And then go up to your knees, relaxing your tendons in your knees, feeling them go back into place. If there's any tension, stiffness in your knees, just relax it and let it go, feeling your knees just become healthy, feeling connected to yourself here. And then going to your upper legs, so your thighs, your quads, making sure that your muscles are releasing tension and stress. Feel yourself become spacious and relaxed. Feeling your muscles release, feeling your bones align the way it should be aligned, feeling your cells regenerate as you pay more attention to your upper legs. And then go to your pelvis, feeling your pelvis align to itself, releasing all tension. Feeling your hip flexors relax, feeling your pelvic floor muscles relax, feeling everything come into perfect balance and symmetry. Any dislocated joints or anything that is off in our pelvis, we want to pay attention to, allow it to heal itself and regenerate. Relax yourself, relax your muscles. And then go into your lower back and your stomach, dropping all tension from the bottom of your spine all the way to your lower back, feeling yourself come into alignment, perfect balance, feeling your energies flow as your body begins to release more tension from the lower back and the stomach, getting deeper in your meditation. And as you feel your energy releasing itself and feeling fuller of your life force energy here, bring your attention up to the solar plexus and the mid back. So feeling the fullness of your presence and attention come here to the solar plexus, being centered and aligned here, feeling your spine get straighter, Feeling your muscles release all stress, tension, worries, anxieties, doubts. And as you feel your mid back and your solar plexus relax, feel your willpower increase, feel your strength, feel your drive and your ambition build up here. Just have a strong focused attention in the solar plexus area and feel the rest of your body relax as you have your focus here in the solar plexus. Now bring your attention to your upper back and your chest area, releasing all tension, stress from the day, traumas, evil energies. Just release it all from your body, from your upper chest and your upper back and your chest. Feeling it all come off and release. Feeling in touch with your emotional center, feeling in touch with your muscles, your bones. Seeing how deep you can focus on yourself, exploring the depths of your experience as you have your attention in your chest area and your upper back. See if you can increase your focus and your attention more and more. And then going to your hands, feel the energy in your hands, your life force. Focus all of your attention here. Relax all the muscles in your hands, releasing any tension from your grip so that your hand feels nice and relaxed and loose. And all you feel is pure energy as you have your attention on your hands. Now take your focus, take your attention, bring it to your wrist, relaxing your wrist and the muscles around your wrist, and then bringing your focus to the rest of your forearms, releasing all tension, feeling spacious and feeling energy flow to your forearm area. And then going to your elbows, releasing any tension or pressure in your joints here, feeling your joints loosen and relax itself into place. Feel your elbow regenerate from all the stress that was placed on it. And then going to your biceps and triceps, relaxing there, releasing any and all tension, feeling your focus expand, feeling your relaxation expand, feeling like you can control your life force, your energy, your attention here, and use it to relax your arms further. And then going to your shoulders, feeling a nice relief, putting off all the stress, the weights that we carry from having responsibilities and duties. Just feeling for a moment carefree, letting go of all pressure, stress that we carry on our shoulders, feeling nice and relaxed, feeling your spine straighten out. And then go into your neck muscles, feeling from your spine at the base of your skull all the way to where your shoulders are at, feeling that part of your spine, which is in the neck, and releasing all tension from your muscles, allowing your neck to go into place, feeling your disc align, feeling all tension release from your neck. And then now bring your attention to your headspace, specifically the sides of your head, releasing all tension from your temples or the sides of your head where next to your forehead, releasing all stress, muscle tension, and then going to the back of your head, releasing all tension from the back of your head space. And then go to the front of your head space and release all tension there, feeling your forehead and your cheek muscles, your jaw muscles relax, just feeling your life force, your attention flow here. And then relaxing the top of your head, feeling your scalp relax, feeling your life force energy flow effortlessly here. Feel attentive and focus on yourself, focus on the scalp and relaxing it further. And then now direct your attention, direct your life force into the center of your headspace, focusing there and switching your mental mode to observation, into silence, into being a detached witness or spectator, and just focus all of your life force in the center of the headspace and see what happens. Focus here for 2 minutes. No, you can keep your silence. You can keep your attention here in the center of the headspace if you would like, but that is the end of the guided meditation here. And so, yeah, you know the deal. Maybe I'll spend a little longer on here just because it's the last day, but, we'll be a little bit more patient. The 30 to a minute rule. Maybe do the 2 minute to 3 minute rule. If no one comments, then we'll go ahead and call it a night. But, you know, it's always good having discipline and surrounding yourself with people that would be disciplined with you. So I had a good time for the time being. I'm acting like I'm gonna be gone for long. In reality, it's gonna be like just a few weeks or something, maybe a week or so. We'll see. So we'll see how focused we can get. Um, but yeah, like that's literally also, if you can focus on one small thing, that spills over into many areas. So the fact that in my mind I have to wake up every single day and then tell myself live stream, set up the live stream, do all this kind of stuff, and then be present here. It instills in you a sense of discipline and having to get yourself together. And it's kind of like at the end of looking back, that's what I get out of it. So, and also like I get, you get to surround yourself with like-minded people that would also, they like to meditate too. So it's pretty cool. Knowing that there's people out there that are tapped in, they know how to control their mind. And that's very intriguing to me, at least. It's cool to surround yourself with people like that because they get what's going on in reality and what's going on inside of themselves. And it takes very deep reflection and it takes very deep consideration to want to slow down your life, spend time in stillness, and you know just observe what's going on within yourself. So it takes, you got to be very present and very disciplined to block out what's going on externally and then focus here, because it's easy to get lost in what's going on externally, even though like it's easy to get lost externally because there's a demand to pay attention to the external world or else you're going to die, obviously. So there's a fear of death that is constantly in our subconscious to fear what's around us. And the world can sometimes be a dangerous place. So granted, it's very important to keep your eyes open and peeled to what's going on around you. But at the end of the day, peace and searching for peace and things like that is it's something that's valuable, and it's a virtue that is immortal. Only the gods know about peace. You could say it like that. Whereas at a human or animalistic level, there is no peace because of our constant reactions to small events and big events in our lives. We have to kind of steer the ship every single time something pops up. You have to steer the ship back into control and steer your life, even though there's chaos all around you. So that's yeah. Oh, we had cycling in the building. He says hello. What's good, man? What's good, man? You got how's everything with you, man? Shoot, trying to remember where we last left off. In our conversations. I mean, you seem like you got pretty good at relaxing your body on command, if when I remember correctly. Again, you're still focusing on health, all this kind of stuff. Let me know what's up with you, man. What's been new? What's been new with my guy here? But I know if Laffy is watching, um, you know, I could sense from him he's done a lot of interesting, like he's also getting to that level too of deep focus. If not, I mean, he's definitely very, he or whatever gender this cat is is definitely a focused person as well. And welcome to the club, if you will. The the fo- the focused fucking, we're a focused group of people here, and welcome to the club. And I mean, you've been in the club. I don't have to even say welcome. You stepped into it yourself. So acting like I run the club, but hey, but I bet I've seen and sensed that your focus has increased, and that's a little award ceremony that deserves a round of applause. The fact that despite the chaos around you, you can keep your mind here and keep it, here. That takes yeah, it takes strength and discipline. So, and again, everything happens quick. The times that we're living in, everything is speeding up, everything's happening quick, and you're gonna have to, realistically, we're gonna have to have an ungodly amount of focus moving forward. This is just my sense of reality and the entire world where it's at, is that you're gonna have to have an ungodly amount of focus moving forward. That, I mean, there's no slacking. It's whatever's happening in the world. You gotta stay focused, not distracted by anything and anyone. Focus on your mission, focus on your purpose. You know, this is where, at the end of so many days, this is where we're at. This is I would say, one of the most important messages, um, that we stay in alignment and true to ourselves. Move with integrity and discipline. All these kind of things. Like, it's common sense, obviously, but it's one thing to, like, because when you start to push yourself, you don't know what your limits are until you hit the walls, in your mind. And then you get tired, and then you don't want to do something, and then you put it off. And that's the test right there, is when you get to that spot. You really haven't started working on yourself until you feel the heat and the friction and the intensity of the moment. And as soon as you can produce the heat and the pressure that is needed, then you can start to get better at what you're doing and sharpen your mind, like a sword. So, because your mind is a sword in a way, and it needs to be sharpened, because if you don't use it, you don't use the power of your mind, then it's going to dull out, and your ability to remember, your ability to learn, your ability to, whatever it could be, dwindles and falls to the wayside. So to stay lucid, to stay alert, is a very important, and knowledge is continuing to increase, especially about what is reality, and what is all of this. Are we in a simulation? Are we, whatever questions and deep existential questions we have, it is being, computers are starting to gain intelligence to answer us around these topics as well, and to automate our lives to an easier place. And it's a beautiful thing, but also can be a frightening thing as well. And so we're going with the current culture, and we're seeing how things are going. And so, yeah, again, it's important to know what you're about and your identity, because it can, with things moving fast, you can easily be lost in the newest trends, the latest technological advances, whatever politics are going on nowadays too. It's easy to get lost in those kind of things because distractions are, ever multiplying, and it can be easy to fall into snares and traps and all that kind of stuff. You're like Lincoln. Uses the heart, says you made it to 70 days. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. 70 days, a number of completion. I mean, that's a beautiful number to end on. I should have brought some champagne or something, Should have brought some maybe a glass of wine to celebrate this with you guys. Or maybe some 70 sunglasses, like the number 70 or something, or maybe I should put balloons back here. I mean, guess goes to show how I'm not really celebratory. I'm not really a celebratory like that. I mean, what am I doing? Should have just bought myself a bottle or something. But anyways, we're here, 70 days. You're like, all right, calm down, mate. Hey, man, I got a lot of energy. I just like to express myself. That's just how it is. Just how it is. I mean, it's 70 days, man. Why wouldn't I be amped up about fucking this kind of little accomplishment of mine? So of course I'm gonna be amped up about it, mate. But yeah, man. Hopefully everything's well with you. Let me know how your how's the past couple of days been, or with your senses and your sense of smell and everything. Because you had a recovery yesterday or something, and now you're back. It's gotten better and stuff. But yeah, I mean, like, I always think that personally, everyone has their own internal compass too. So when you're doing something on your own and you're focused on accomplishing just tasks that you personally enjoy, you know, at a certain level, you feel proud about yourself and what you've accomplished. And it's always good to celebrate wins, even though, like, shoot, like I didn't fucking get 2 million followers, 100,000 followers. These are just small little things I like to do, challenge myself, and and if anyone wants to join along too with challenging themselves, it's like this is how we get better as people. Just join together, keep each other accountable, all that kind of stuff. So you're like, dang, we got different kinds of emojis on Twitch. I see, man, bringing in the bringing the party. Yeah, these things work. I could see them. Your emojis are working today. The yeah, the emojis are working today, man. But it's hard to keep going, especially life's a marathon, right? And if you equate life to a race or a marathon, like personally, I ran the marathon, the LA marathon, and it's a whole stretch. And there's a certain point in the marathon where, like, at least for me, I hit around mile 18 and my ankles are just exhausted. And that's kind of like the weak part of myself, or that's the part of myself that goes weak first, is my ankles. So when I ran a marathon, it was like my ankles are just done. And then my legs start getting tired and your body starts dropping and you're like, oh, everything feels heavy. And, to keep going, you got to remember how you started, how you started with your race. Like, you remember how you started strong and you had a pace and you had a tempo, and you start to think about you finishing and getting stuff done. So, that's how you, especially with something physically like a marathon, that's how you get through it, is that you don't think, oh, I have this much miles left. You think more about how you started and how good your tempo is, how good you look, how good your form is. And you start to encourage yourself little by little. And then, you start, feeling energized, and you start feeling a little, the gears are turning, and you get momentum, all that good stuff. So this is a little marathon. I remember hitting, I think around day 40, I was at a crossroads for sure. I was at a crossroads for sure. I ain't gonna hide the fact that around day 40, I was like really feeling like, damn, I gotta be very focused and disciplined about this. And you know, you got Donna joining the party. You did a hey y'all. Oh, I didn't know they say y'all. Little you from like that's like Tennessee accent right there in America. Donna waited for the last. He's calling her out on her BS. She's been hiding. Donna waited for the. I bet she's a busy girl. I bet she's a busy girl. So we're not tripping about her showing up for the last one. We're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're here, that you made it. Um, Good to see you. And yeah, I still have this quote up, by the way, but I mean, this is a quote that I put on my Instagram threads. I thought it was a very, I had a 3 a.m. meditation kind of girl. I mean, that's a golden hour for us spiritual people. I mean, in terms of photography, yeah, you know a little bit of photography, so 6 p.m., 6 a.m. golden hour for photography. I mean, if you're a spiritual girl, I mean, 3 a.m. that's the golden hour. That's when apparently they say the spiritual world is the most open. Less people are up in the world, and your environment is very quiet. So you know, feel like alone maybe, but not to chat. I like my peace. All right, that's fair. That's fair. You do your thing. You do your thing. I know you like your peace, and I know you like to train your. I know you have like pretty good psychic ability sometimes, So you seem like someone that has likes to train yourself in that way too, if I'm not mistaken. But you know, yeah, I know you like your peace, so go ahead and take as much space or time to have your peace. But again, we're just talking about a little bit of discipline, staying on course with your level of focus. Because in reality, when you keep pushing yourself to do more and to accomplish more, you have to face the limits in your mind and, really your level of focus and self improvement doesn't start until you feel the pain and the friction and the tension that starts to arise from your subconscious, all of the blockages, all of the lies, deceptions that you tell yourself. Your spiritual journey or walk doesn't really start until you start confronting these things. And when you tend to avoid these things, not very pleasant, or your awakening is a little bit more violent, if you will. And yeah, like good to see you all today. I do daily meditation, so keeping up just at different times to you guys. Well, yeah, do your thing, do your thing, and everyone is also disciplined with you. So you have your own timing, you have your own schedule. That's lovely. So you said Matthew 10:34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. Or I think not that I have come to send peace on earth. I came to send peace, but a sword. I find comfort in the fact that God has been everything that happens, and much love. Great teaching. Exactly, man. And this is actually the perfect verse for especially the season that we're in life. And so people are looking for peace. And we got a little butterfly came into my room, but anyways, there it is. What the fucking butterfly's crazy. But oh my god, that's crazy. But freaking butterfly, that's crazy. But that's so random. But talking about sending peace, right? Butterfly is a symbol of peace. So, um, exactly. So the sword, when we talk about the sword, is also related to your level of, mental sharpness. When you're, when you're like beautiful. Look at that. Your comment summoned in a beautiful butterfly. So it's a lovely sign. What a lovely sign. Um, but oh man, but when your mind is sharp and it's there, because I mean, if you think about physically when you hold the sword, you're equipped. The attitude that you have when you have a sword is you're ready and you're trained, and you're whenever a situation or something happens, you're ready to stay on guard and defend yourself if you need, or issue justice or mercy, or whatever thing you need to do, right? So the sword is a very powerful symbol, and people want peace. And for some people, that means they're just passive instead of actively engaging the world. So, Christ actively engaged the world, and he spoke his truth and spoke the truth. And, people had a reaction to it. And some people wanted to kill him, and some people, received him as the Son of God. So, or as God. And so this is kind of what have to face in your life is the sword, because everyone has a sword, either verbally, people say words that are very sharp and that can cut deep into your mind and into your reality, and also physically, people will actually try to harm you and do things to you. So, you need to have your sword ready and your vigilance there, and um, you have to be trained and ready. And this is kind of where we're at too. This is the season we're entering into. This is, I think, a good verse to sum up that the sword is something that needs to be mastered. You mentally have to have a sharp sword and know how to use it and at the right time. And so your words matter, how you posture yourself matters, how you carry yourself matters. And sometimes you have to fight for your peace of mind. Sometimes you have to fight for, keeping yourself together and keeping your life together. And you have to speak into these situations what you want and manifest the things that you need to manifest. Someone that has a sword, like if someone has a sword, right? Let's just think imaginary here for a second. But if I had a sword, or you could say a weapon like a gun, for example, people know they can't mess with you, or they know that they can't, um, subconsciously that they know that, oh, this person they're equipped, they're well on guard. And so it's the same way, literally, as in the same sense metaphorically. And so we need to be able to speak the truth. And when we have a sword, we know that people aren't going to mess with our message, our mission that we're carrying out in life. Because you have a mission, I have a mission, and you need to have a sword ready to, when you need to go into battle to fight for the things that you want and that you believe in. And again, people will disagree with sometimes your message, or sometimes people disagree with how you do things, and we're not here to, in a sense, cut everyone with the sword. We're not here to get angry and violent and slash everyone down because they don't agree with us. You walk away in some situations. You, again, administer justice, or however you deal with situations. It's all basis to basis. And so the emotes here. What is that? Oh, it's a hot dog. What the fuck? A fucking hot dog. All right. Well, you got an artist right here, man. Artist. You're like beautiful. Channel metamorphosis, new beginnings. I know if that wasn't a sign for a new beginning, I mean, that is so random actually. And it's still butterfly still hanging out, likes the he likes the pot the live stream, I guess. He likes to tune in. He wanted to tune in today, so no, he's a sword understood. Exactly understood, man. Get ready or be ready. To be vigilant, aware, and ready, but not worried, overcautious, or living. Exactly. It's more of like to be vigilant is to be on your toes, ready to levitate, if you will, at will. You can shift if you need to. You're ready, and you can make adjustments if needed. Um, Go different routes. It's beautiful to live your life with vigilance because it shows that you're ready to navigate reality in a way that is different from everyone else. It's like you're a trail runner or a trailblazer. You're experiencing something for the first time. When you're watching, right, and you're on the outskirts of a city, you're the first one to see something off in the distance. So when you see something off in the distance, you're ready for that thing coming, and you relay the message. You talk about the different things that you see, whether it be, I don't know, a new spiritual insight or a threat of an enemy or whatever it could be, right? You see it on the horizon. And so the beauty of vigilance is that when the sun rises, when the sun sets, the seasons, where you're at personally, and where people are at with you. And it's a skill to like be vigilant and consistently like looking over the horizon. Because again, the challenge as someone that is vigilant on the wall is that can you stay awake on your shift when you're practicing vigilance? Can you stay awake? Can you stay alert to what's going on and not miss out on any opportunities or not miss out on any whatever might be on the horizon? And your horizon, you have an intuitive sense of what your horizon is. You can look out from within yourself and sense, like, where am I headed? Where is my life at here? And let me sense outwards and into the horizon and see what the future is like and experience it step by step, bring it into your experience. And talking about manifestation and willpower and all those kind of things. When you're harvesting or harnessing your willpower, you're pulling in more energies to be vigilant and to be strong-minded and strong-willed, especially when it's necessary. And having a sense of peace about it too, like you're saying here, where you're not worried or overcautious, but you're direct and still about your vigilance. That's where you want to be, because you can also be vigilant of the fact that you're worried and that you're being overcautious, that you're a little bit on your tippy toes too much in a way that's not going to serve or not going to propel you forward. Because again, a vigilant mind can see stuff coming and will pay close attention to the signs of different things, synchronicities, all these kind of things. So yeah, vigilance. That's honestly my favorite word, because it's literally what I've had to be most of my life, is vigilant. And I've wanted to lose vigilance and self-awareness. There's been times in my life where I'm like, man, I don't want to be on alert. I'd rather just be passive and sit back and just be a little bit lazy, play some video games, kick back. But then I realized that, especially if you're going to be moving forward in life, like, you have to have a mission, you have to head somewhere and train your mind to be sharp and face the world for how it is. Because it's easy to hide behind screens. It's easy to hide behind whatever thing and not confront what you're seeing. Because the thing about vigilance is that you'll notice how maybe within yourself intuitively you're procrastinating on things, or you're holding back on certain things, and you're not necessarily doing the best that you can. And then to be vigilant and aware of that, you're like, damn, you're like shit. I can't believe I've been letting myself down like this, and not really been putting time and care into myself. Like, it's important to know yourself, know when you're slacking, know when you need a break, when you need to be cautious about how you approach someone, because the present moment is mixed with variety and flavor, so you can be conscious and aware of these different varieties and flavors that are in your experience, and then how you sort through each one is and process through each one is going to be different, especially according to your personality, and how you take things in, because your personality isn't you don't know your personality, you don't know how you're like and what you need from yourself, then like you can just easily throw out the vigilance and go into NPC mode, you know, and just go along with what the mainstream is saying, and with whatever narratives people are saying, you believe it all. And at the end of the day, a lot of these things are lies or half truths or whatever it may be. And as someone that's vigilant, you're not concerned with half truths. You're concerned with the direct target, and how can you see something in the most direct manner possible. And that's kind of how you can train yourself vigilantly. You can look into things quicker and know things faster. It's what the computers are doing. They're able to process and take in information and sort out a formula or sort out a quick answer to what your problem is. It's problem solving. And at some level too, it's connection, right? And vigilance is connected to your emotional connection, your mental connection with things, and how watch over. When you watch over something, you love that very thing, if you will. If I watch over myself, in a sense, I love myself. It's like a parent taking care of their kid, and you have to watch over them because they can get out the loop and do something bad and ruin, you could say, start to be destructive in your life and in their own life too. And it's also that also ties into your inheritance spiritually as well as physically. If you don't watch over yourself and you let yourself go, you lose your spiritual inheritance, and also physically you lose over your like physical, tangible inheritance. Your money, your assets, things like that. So it's you got to watch over yourself, and to watch over yourself means to love yourself. And we love ourselves over here, so we watch and pay attention. And again, that opens up the connection for love to happen, for deeper connection with other people, if you permit it. That's the you know that's the key, because you're valuable, and who you talk to is valuable, who you surround yourself with is valuable. And it can really change the direction of your life when you surround yourself with different people. Start to change the way you think according to how they think. And it can be, we can lose our vigilance on where our life is going sometimes. And we hang out with groups of people, and sometimes we don't even notice the influence. So yeah, that's kind of just saying 2 steps forward, 2 steps back at times when outside influences flood in, and try to keep you super busy, and we get ill because we try to fight it. We have to keep pushing forward, but also trust the plan. Yeah, like exactly. So, sometimes we experience opposition, and we have to take 2 steps back and really evaluate, whoa, what was that move, or like, whoa, like, you have to evaluate where the hell did that come from, and sometimes something that happens outside the gate like this that can seem to stop you can either one actually be something of value, right? Sometimes if you experience a setback and someone maybe says, hey, don't do that, for example, and then you're taking back because maybe you trust this person, and then you have to take those 2 steps back, right? That can actually be the opening for an opportunity that is even greater, or it can be to your destruction, them saying that. So, taking those 2 steps back are very vital and important. Your little dance that you do, Donna, your 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, your little dance. So, so that it's important to, when you take 2 steps back, you evaluate what the heck was that? And then you can step back into it to see if it's like for you or not, or to keep push, if it's worth it to push forward or not. And because that's what you have to count the cost. Every single action you take has a cost to it, a cost of energy, cost of your life force energy, a cost of your money sometimes, and cost of your mental energies. There's a cost to taking steps forward and taking steps back. And if you see a worthwhile opportunity and investment, and you see a worthwhile, like, whatever it could be, you can just take 20 steps forward, and then, not have to worry about taking steps back too. So it's also the title of a great song by Paulo Abdul and the Cats. I'll write that one down in the notes. Paulo Abdul. Maybe I'll take a little look right here, but I'm not going to play for copyright reasons. Maybe I'll just, I can share my screen. People can see the cover or something. 2 cats, huh? And a cat. You got, this kind of cat right here. This kind of cat. But let me see. Paulo. Man, the window is showing. Paulo Abdul and the cat. Oh my goodness. Abdul and the cat. A little old school, huh? A little soul. Donna's got some soul over here. Let's see. All right. Let me see. I'm not gonna play it, but you can kind of see a little the animation over here. Look at that. That's cute. Yeah. All right. But yeah, steps are important, and to feel your steps are also important too. So, like, literally, like when you take 1 step forward, like when you get up, this is a practice of also watchfulness. Like, you literally feel your leg, boom. You feel your next leg go, boom. Like, you have to feel emotionally, physically, and tangibly. You have to feel every single movement and engage it. And doing this helps you understand where you're at, because if you engage the body, this is what you do in prayer: is you engage the body, you engage the heart, you engage the mind. Everything is a physical exercise that you do. And so when you put yourself passionately into something, and you watch your steps, you watch how you take steps forward, it's very crucial. You have the butterfly flying around again. You might pop in again. Let's see. Anyways, you say I love soup music. This this is more pop, and the video was innovative back in the day. Yeah, I could see. Oh, there he is. Wait, he's coming on the camera. Oh shoot. There he is. There's a butterfly. Dude, that's so rad. Butterfly. Oh man, I left the window open and just came in. But oh man, there he is. I guess he likes what I'm doing. Shoot. Anyways, soul music. Yeah, yeah. And I haven't forgotten, by the way, like that channel, that meditation channel I have, I'm gonna put more effort into that too. I just gotta get classically trained in a way. I know I need to take some steps forward. So behind the scenes, I'm still learning myself. I got all the software and stuff like that. So, and yeah, I'm gonna start putting stuff together for sure. Just again, it's the whole premise of it is quiet reflections, meditations. So, I'll read from sacred text here and there for blessings. I'll put on different meditations. There was one we did like day 44 or something. And, I thought it was probably a pretty good one to put on there. So I haven't forgotten about that. It's just been very busy. So, but I just gotta just not making excuses and just get it done. But, it's a lot of training, because I'm trying to do stuff organically. I can use already, again, I have a library of songs. I have a license for stock music that I can use to put behind meditations, which I don't mind. I know people probably wouldn't mind that either, but it's just for the sport. You got to learn the backbone of music and learn the backbone of a lot of what you do. I mean, I think it's interesting and a worthwhile pursuit. Because either way, if you do use AI, it's like if you need to choose a song for a certain event or video, if you know the basic of music, you can easily know identify the tempo, identify the major that is played in, the key that is played in, and you can appropriately address or find the right key to match the person's voice in the video that you're putting maybe the song over. Or in this case, it's like for the meditation, my voice has a certain key to it, a certain, expression, and there's a certain sound that needs to be played behind it. At least I just know this intuitively, like there's a certain sound that needs to be played behind it to further enhance the experience of a meditation. So that's easier said than done. I'll say it like that. It's like I understand the basics of it, but to put in the work to get there is another story because there's a lot of training that needs to go and be involved. And again, it's all of it is just a listening skill. Like to get good at music, you just have to be a good listener. It's simple as that. If I can listen better to you, if I can listen better to myself and to the universe, then like music is a very can be pretty easy. Or it can be just very intuitive, just whenever you're or however you look at songs and stuff. So but yeah, let me see. And you're like, yeah. I'm actually surprised that that video. I mean, I just threw it out there without thinking too much. I'm like, all right. I did a little bit tweaks in the audio and enhanced it a little bit. That first one, but I was surprised it got like 200 views. I think Lincoln was probably running it up every single day. It was like 200. I don't know what it's at right now. Let me see, but I think it's around like 200 views, which I was actually quite surprised by. I'm like, oh damn. And I've only put in one video. That channel used to be like I posted I posted some videos of me meditating with people on Omegle. So I met with random people online on a random video, what do you call it? Meetup place. You just log on to Omegle and you're paired with someone random. And, I was trying to make a series with that. And because these are random people that, especially on Omegle or any random video pairing site, where you meet strangers and stuff, it's not spiritual. It's not like people are, people just fuck around and people just troll on there. So, I was trying to go with the series with that, and I meditate with some people on there, and they were, I got their reactions, and they were like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Some of them try to be sneaky though, like they didn't know that I can just sense directly what they're experiencing. So I would lead them in the meditation when I was doing Omegle, and I was looking directly at them, and then they were like pretending to do it, and they're like, I mean, you could see a little bit in their body language. They try to be still, and they're a little bit flimsy, but you can kind of feel from them like, all right, they're about to fucking troll, or they're about to say some stupid shit. And some people were actually doing it because they were also recording on their screen. They were screen recording on Omegle, their own live stream, or their own videos. So I would lead them in meditation, and then some of them try to fool me. I'm like, dude, I'm like, you're not in it, huh? And then I would just, and then they'll try to come up with their antics and just troll me right after. But it was an interesting time. Interesting. You get creative with some ideas, and it's funny where things go sometimes. But it sounds amazing. Yeah, the putting the the or music sounds cool, and mastering it sounds cool. Like the fact that you can create a beautiful experience that puts someone in a state of like awe and beauty. That's kind of like the essence of art, and capturing that. Like it's definitely an endeavor to be able to make something at the highest level that's beautiful. So it's definitely an endeavor, and it's not for the faint of heart to push. I mean, for photography, for example, when you're capturing different angles or different shots, you have to be in the moment and think of how amazing this thing looks under this light, under this angle. And to admire beauty is like something cool. But not me, I already forgot the name of Scribe, I forgot the name. Expanded Minds, Quiet Reflections. Yeah, Expanded Minds, Quiet Reflections, and meditation, something like that. No, just Quiet Reflections. But my ad is Expanded Minds Meditations. That's what it is. So, we're quietly reflecting. We're quietly reflecting. We're like, go for it. Yeah. I don't need no permission. So we're just gotta do what we gotta do. I mean, I evaluated over time, like when I was younger too, like what I was gifted at too, what things caught my attention, like literally caught my attention, and what my heart is drawn towards. And you have to just keep getting better at it. There's just like, once you find out what you like to do, you just go with it. You're like, nearly 300 views, celebrity, watch your ego. Watch your ego. uh, it's just confidence, man. I mean, I just do what I do. I just do what I do. But I definitely will not have an ego. I know my beginnings. I know that I come from a pile of shit sometimes, or I came from a pile of shit. I would say that. And then you just sort out yourself. Man, I can't even, like, college, when I was in college, is crazy. I'm just a different person now, and way different person when I look back. College, high school, I'm the same but different in a way, So let's see. I don't want to be meditating on tasting. Shut the fuck. Tasting my ego. This guy. Tasting ego. You come from a pile of what? Yeah, man. Come from. I mean, shoot. I wasn't as disciplined. My life wasn't as disciplined, and I wasn't as focused as I am now. When you're not focused and you're not, pursuing for higher things, your life is shit. I mean, what else? What else can you say about it? I mean, that's just reality. We can sugarcoat it, and people can pat me on the head and be like, "You're okay. You're okay. Where you're okay doing what you do. Like, you're okay being normal." It's like there's a balance between knowing to push yourself and also accepting the level that you're at. We're always playing with like the whole risk to reward ratio, where we want to take steps forward in life, and we want to, move here and make this bold move. but at a certain level, we know we're not ready yet, and we know we're not ready to take the next step. So you're so you're constantly like having to evaluate the level that you're at and then take a step forward and take a risk. And some people will just stay on the same base, you know. Some people will stay on the same base and stay comfortable, and you know that's it's up to you, you know, where you want to be. And so I know too, like again, this is part of the work too. We know we're asleep. We know that we lack control over ourselves. Why are we gonna lie to ourselves that we don't come from shit? You know, that we don't come from basically, you know, we come from nothing. Really, at the end of the day, you know, it's like you come from nothing, and you're constantly, especially if you want to grow, you have to, you know, like right here, you say humble beginnings. You know, like stuff can get handed to you, and it's cool, but like, you know, it's good to work for yourself and work for things that you believe in too. You know, so it's good to get handed things and to receive blessings, and also at the same time manage like doing stuff for yourself. You know, no one really likes someone that tries to leech off of them, and you know, no one really likes that kind of person that's trying to reach into someone else's bag just because you're their friend or just because you're their whatever. You know, it's like you have to kind of, I mean, I know this from my own life. Like sometimes people have more than sometimes people have more stuff than you, and they're way better off. And then you're sitting there with nothing in your hand. And since you have nothing in your hand, you kind of feel a little bit awkward or insecure being around someone that's like has more, or maybe you're shamelessly leech off of them. You're like, give me that, like you owe me that. You're my friend. Like, you know, you have to kind of, you know, it's up to you how you want to do things. But I'm the kind of person that I can't be like that. That's just me and my own standard. But you know, I make sure to, you know, I do my best in whatever I do. That's just kind of, and I hope that people, I hope that people treat themselves that way too. You're like, or she, Guru's choice. You, you can only change when you fed up of your own shit. Exactly. I mean, oh man. I mean, sometimes I've been there. You know, to be honest, women can sense this in men too, right? When a guy lies to you and says he's gonna change, but he don't care. Like he's gonna keep doing the same old shit that he's doing. You know, he's gonna keep on doing the same shit. So you know, you got to be fed up of being full of lies and grow. Like you can't give off the ick feeling, if you will. You know, if you're someone that is takes care of yourself, you become less neurotic and you feel more comfortable in your body, which means that when you're comfortable with your body, you're harmonized with yourself. And when you're in harmony with yourself, then this, you know, this has a good effect on the feminine, if you will, the feminine aspect of life, and also the feminine nature, you know, in women. So, you know, you can, you know, I've been in the lower state like this when, you know, this is just, you're doing the same thing over and over. You can't change. You don't know how to change. Some part of you stubborn to change too. You know, it's hard to change sometimes. And I resonate with that struggle, or sometimes I mean, I've come from that kind of struggle too, not knowing how to change or be different than how I normally am, or not necessarily different, but evolve to the next level, you know. And you say, obviously, man, I want to put my call on screen with the profanity, but the English language is just as bad. Good morning, or good morning, or enjoy our weekend, or yeah, that's crazy to think about, huh? Morning, like you're mourning the day, you're dreading the day. You know, people wake up like that. They're just dreading the day. They wake up and they're like, damn. You know, they're crying their existence, and you know, they're in their routines and stuck in them. Or weekend, you know, like people are weak, and especially with myself, you're weak on some level, and you know that. And to address and confront that is basically reality shattering. To know that you're weak and that you're mourning or sad on the inside and you don't know how to cope with these feelings, they could have got programmed in you like this, something like that. Good morning. That's true. We gotta change that. Good morning or weekend. Weekends are for the weak. So yeah, English is I might as well just let's just make our own language at this point, maybe you and I, Donna, we can sit down together, get a pen and paper, and then, write out our new language, and then we'll live stream that the new way. We can call it the language of light or something, or maybe the language of, I don't know. I think the language of light would be a good title for our new language. So yeah, language is crazy. Wow, we got I'm not gonna put that comment up, but we got a little spam viewer from Twitch stopping by. Yeah, get out of here. This guy's cheap viewers. This guy commented cheap viewers on viewturbo.online. Yeah, no. Twitch is a weird place. Now we got Lincoln. The link is coming from Twitch. Miss you already. I know it's gonna be tragic. It's gonna be a week of silence. I mean, I'm still gonna upload some episodes that I need to get out too. Some recordings. I can leave you with some offline stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. I think I have like 4 unreleased. I have like 4 unreleased episodes, and I need to release them but I got so busy in my life. Like during that time period, I was working like almost 80 hours a week. So, but I can get those out to you. Those are for me. Oh man, I feel bad. It's just such a big delay. Life got super hectic. It's the city life though. It's the city life. When you live in the city, there's so many things to do. So many things that so much going on. You can get active in any kind of situation. It's part of a pickup group. Some people may know me from there. You can play a pickup soccer or pickup football. Down over there is pretty fun. You fill your life with different things that are good for you. Yeah. Shout out to whoever's in that pickup group if they see this live stream here. But that was fun. Playing doing things that you enjoy. It makes life a little bit more enjoyable when you're able to mess around with a sport that brings back old memories when you're playing in school with your friends, and recess, you're playing all the different sports that you like and stuff like that. It's a little recess time. And you're like, hurry up. And hey, we're gonna be hustling this week, man. I'm telling you, yeah, we're gonna be on it for sure. We're gonna be on it for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of worried if you can keep up this week, man. I mean, let's see how much we accomplish in this 1 week, huh? I'm not sure we're gonna be able to keep up, but we'll see. We'll see, man. That's funny. But language, again, like controlling your tongue, it's described, especially in the Bible, as a rudder. The tongue is kind of what steers your ship. So what you say steers the direction of your life. And if you can't control your tongue, like weekend or morning, then you're getting played. You're getting played. People are telling you lies, and you're just affirming them through your mouth and speaking to the water that's in you, if you will. Speaking to the water within you, and programming yourself in a certain way. So again, like you do guided meditation, especially here, we did one. When you're relaxing your body, you're training yourself or programming yourself to be in a relaxed state to where your energy can flow, or your energy systems can upkeep and continue cycling through old feelings and old memories, traumas, things like that. You know, you're keeping the system flowing. You know, you're keeping the keeping the level of openness that is needed to continue the work on yourself and continue whatever work you're doing, and or just continuing to have a deeper experience of life. You know, the more that you focus and pay attention, the more deeper your experience is and the more passionate you get about things. It's just a fact of life. So, man, yeah, there's a lot on the horizon. I mean, hopefully you guys see very good things in your life, you know, on the horizon, you know, that you look out and, you know, you're planning ahead and you're looking at what is to come and have a sense of anticipation for good, for, yeah, you know, things like that. So, I mean, if also you guys are open to commenting on what you see on the horizon for yourself or just in general, and that would be a very interesting dialogue that we can have, because in reality, you know what's in front of you. You just gotta be direct about your observation. You know, you take all the time you want. You owe us nothing. I appreciate all you've done. It's a pleasure to meet you and be here for the experience. Yeah, man. Sure. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm gonna get some things handled and then we'll be back here. So we'll see. And you- it's just this is a. I guess this is just a way that I can serve people. You know, like opening up a dialogue or opening up a, you know, opening up a space where people can spend time in silence and observing themselves, in order to get their minds kind of going and reflecting on how they are, what's going on, because that's the essence of observation is how are you doing, you know, what's going on, you know, these are kind of, or who are you, you know, this is kind of like the core essence of any kind of observation, especially if you're, maybe you're into studying animals, you know, you have to watch their every movement, you know, question why they do things the way they do, their behavior patterns. So, you know, we got to spend that time with ourselves, because, you know, when we don't do that, we lose control over ourselves and then we wonder why things are going the way they're going. You know, it's because of a lack of discernment, a lack of careful attention, a lack of parenting on yourself, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's a paradox where I do have all the time that I want, but at the same time, I don't. You know, I really don't. So, you know, every single moment is filled with endless possibility, but you just got to create it. And again, to create that takes the sword. You know, you have to be able to stand up for yourself, stand up for what you want and what you're thinking about, and put it into practice, what you are ruminating and contemplating about, right? You can sit with yourself in private, have some alone time, and then ruminate and contemplate about how your life is, how are things going, you know, what you like, what you don't like. And these contemplations turn into actions and they shape our reality. And so, you know, like I've sat in contemplation, especially recently. And if I were to tell you my most recent contemplations, you know, I do have all the time I want, but I don't. That's just my direct reflection on how things are right now. And again, that's according to my own vision on my life, where I want to go. But the way that you see things could be different. You know, the way that you experience you know, maybe you're chilling and you don't even see you know, you don't even see you just may experience life differently, but everyone has their own vision and they'll move according towards that vision. And everyone's different with their visions. We're all projecting outwards, if you will. And, we just got to make sure that in our vision, it's clear and that we know what we want and we take time to develop thought around or vision around things. So, yeah, meet you. I second that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And, you know, much love. Much love. But yeah, like it's just inspiration. Like when you go off inspiration, you do things that you're inspired to do. You meet cool people, you talk to you have new experiences, you your quality of life increases, and that's just how things are. Inspiration. You can be sitting in your car and then get inspired by a song, or get inspired to make a song yourself, or you can be, chilling, I don't know, just out on the deck and you're smoking a cigarette, and then you're like, or you're thinking like, damn, I should probably write more, or oh, I should probably, whatever moments you have, you can always have moments of inspiration that can lead you down different paths. So it's always cool seeing what you're inspired by. If you guys want to drop a comment down below, what are you guys inspired by? Where do you find inspiration from? Because that's important. That's important that you're inspired. I mean, maybe watching this, you're inspired to do something. You could be inspired to start your own live stream. You can be inspired to start your own 70-day challenge. Let me see. So many different parts of my life that take skill to integrate. All has to be sometimes simultaneously. I aim to progress both physically and spiritually better today than yesterday. Exactly. Integration is key. And this is partly why I see you as an intuitive person, because you have to have oversight. Or, like when you think of the eye of an eagle, you have to have some level of oversight, or, your third eye has to be kind of popped open to be able to simultaneously observe many different, or you have to be kind of present to the different things in your life. And, you have to be present there and know what's going on. So you have to be over yourself and watch the different, how much energy you put into this skill, how much energy you put into this skill. And then you have to kind of put everything together into one, so when you talk about mastering different parts, it's like you have to be aware of like, okay, I'm putting this much energy into this skill, and then now I have to focus on this skill. And then as soon as I put enough energy into each bucket here, then I can take a step forward. You can take a step forward. Oh, we got look who's here. We got a brother Josiah. I know that channel. I know that channel from I know your little channel there. Yeah, man. I mean, how's everything? You got the tough arms here, man. This is a guy that can do muscle ups, by the way. Very very skilled muscle ups here. At least, he takes himself seriously, I'll tell you that. Brother Jesse. Yeah, what's up, man? Hope everything's good with you, man. And you're still out there on the east. If I'll be very vague. I don't know how detailed we want to be first off, but you're still out in the east, if you will. But yeah, man, we've been live streaming and consistently. I know you were putting some energy into your channel too. And you were also doing some live streams as well. So, hey man, you've been in the sphere. You've been in the sphere. All right. Oh, yeah, Miami. Yeah, guy's a Miami legend. But yeah, your personal account, the little frat account right here, brother Josie. Yeah, been dropping gems as usual, huh? Hey, people got to check it out. If you don't mind, I could drop a link. People can see what kind of hey, you're here not to do. Hey, I'm down. I'm down to do one, man. We brother Josie right here. He was my, I believe, fourth guest. So it was the first podcast, second, third. Yeah, he was my fourth guest on the podcast. So for those that are day ones here, for people that are day ones, he was one of the first people I interviewed, and a lot of good comments about the podcast we did together. I mean, you got Jose here is very in tune with energy and his emotions. He's been out to Mexico, Tulum. He's done some spiritual retreats as well. Has been around kind of he's done energy clearing. I'm very intuitive and very emotionally connected. Very insightful. Hence, talking about gems. But yeah, hit me up on Instagram. I'll definitely be dropping in or checking out my messages. So just let me know, man. Hit me up on the IG. Like, oh, cool. I enjoy your collabs. I watched a few so far. Yeah, very great minds, and it talks about a lot about confidence too. How to have confidence, be grounded in yourself. We talked a little bit about, if I remember, like it was talked a little bit about the elements. How also some of us have energetic elements or have elements inside of us that, like earth, fire, things like that, and that goes into play with how your mindset is and how you move about in your everyday life. But I mean, I'll go ahead and drop the his channel anyways. I mean, you guys can check it out. I'll drop a link right here. Yeah, he does drop gems. Let's see. But yeah, man, that's cool that you dropped in for a few seconds if you're still here. And let me do my typing business, my going into different tabs. And let's see. But yeah, it was a cool episode. Also, again, spiritually in tune. So it's good that you can. Oh yeah, I'm here. Oh my goodness. I am probably, when it comes to multitasking, let's see. I'm gonna freeze up a little bit here, you know what I mean? But we're getting better. It's a skill that Adonna's good at over here. The multitasker. Doing 2 things at once, 3 things even. Juggling everything. Let's see. Here we go. My goodness. Yeah, you guys can check out his channel. And you're like, bro, when we do a collab, let's see. So, bro, when you do a collab, will be 100% better. Yeah, I bet. That was 3 years ago. If you think about it, damn, been doing this for 3 years. That's crazy. Crazy to think about. For me, the time just flew by. I don't know about you, man, but time has just flown by, and that 3 years felt like maybe one, maybe 1.5. But yeah, man, shout out to Jose. Check out his channel. Always gotta show love to, because again, like, to be honest, when we do podcasting, people are willingly putting themselves out there. Like, they're being generous to come on my channel and share, what's on their mind. And, you know, people are being generous about sharing their mind and the insight that they have. So, you got to honor that, the fact that people are taking time out of their day to share some insights and some wisdom that can potentially help you get better. And, if you apply the knowledge, you learn more and more. It's like you can change a lot. And some people can know the shortcuts or the hacks. And actually, I remember you recommending reality transurfing, and that's actually one book that has changed the direction of my life. It took me a little bit when you first mentioned it to get into it, but as soon as I started to read that book and you apply the principles, for example, like it really makes sense, to we've talked a lot about this stuff where you're being vigilant and watching and getting out of pendulums, things like that. Those are very important things to identify in your life, the different energetic systems that are surrounding you and taking your energy. So when you think about something and you contemplate about a certain idea, certain hobby, task, whatever, you're willingly putting in your energy into something and it'll demand more. So to know yourself and to know the things that are the best for you and taking the correct actions within that is kind of crucial, especially in the whole reality transurfing thing. Like time is speeding up. Yeah, man. The Matrix is let's just say the Matrix is they're doing stuff. They're doing funny stuff back there, man. It's not good. But hey, that means there's probably a big shift that could be good if you prepare, if you prepare for it. And so the speeding up thing could be a very good thing. And we just gotta pay attention to what's the next thing that we can our next opportunities that come our way. So like best book out there on reality creation. Yeah, there's some good narrations on YouTube. You probably ran into them where they space out some of the sounds and add some cool like sound effects. Forget the exact channel name, but there's some good audio versions too on YouTube that people can look at, and you can just search it up, reality transurfing audiobook, and very beautiful. It's super long and extensive, but it's like, I think it's around like 700, 600 pages, but you're like, yeah, it's like 600 to 700 pages, but as soon as you read it, it's like something happens to your mind, like something, I don't know, it just resonates or it hits, and you just get it when you read it. Just makes sense. I'm sorry to bail, but feeling the surgery now. Hey, no worries, man. No worries. It's good that you came on. It's good that you stopped by. You're taking care of yourself, so that's pretty good, man. So I know you're probably gonna be on Twitch over there. I know you're gonna be on Twitch over there commenting probably 30 minutes from now, but that's okay. That's okay. Like Z's gonna go right, and I look forward to what's next. Donna, been lovely to see you so many times during these meditations. Take care. Love to y'all. See you soon. We're just taking a quick intermission. Again, I need to handle things behind the scenes and catch up on a lot of stuff. And, I'll be back. And so when I say we'll see, it's just dependent on how quick I move, and how disciplined I am. So it's not the end. It's not the, we're going to be back soon. No worries. What's your biggest takeaway from reality transurfing? Following your heart and paying attention to the feelings and sensations of your heart. I think personally, I've been a person that has always had that ability, or innately. Some people, like I think you've mentioned it a little bit too about indigo children, or like there's certain souls that come into the world that are a little bit more sensitive or a little bit more, energetically inclined, if you will. I know that you're also one of those people too, where you're just energetically inclined, and the way that you experience reality, like you have to sense energy. And so when it was paying attention to the heart, emptying your mind to sense the window of the heart and its intuitive whispers, that's kind of like when I started to pay attention to that, I started to navigate reality more smartly, because then, like, when my heart would say something, I knew to hone in my focus on that very thing. And that very thing could have been an opportunity, or it could have been to move in this direction, or to improve in this way, or pay attention to this thing. So, having that constant alignment to your heart is very important. And Goals and Doors was a very good chapter, how to, and this is something I told my friend, one of my friends too, which is interesting, because we were trying to start up like a whole film thing. And I told him straight up, like, I was like, you and I were getting into film and stuff. And to be honest with you, if we start pushing forward and the doors don't open up, if the doors don't open up right away, which is something that I learned reality transurfing, then we should just walk away from this. Probably not the right goal. We're probably not entering through the right door, our approach, or it's just not for us. But, so when I understood that you have to step through the right doors, and those doors open up more doors, then, like, you start to understand how reality works. That you just stepped into something, and that more doors have opened up, and then you have to keep on stepping through the right or the correct doorways, and you use your heart to navigate something like that. And again, that has changed everything. That's changed the game, because that's a skill to learn. Because again, the law of the pendulum: do as I say or do as I do. And the common people will do as someone else tells them to do, and then not pay attention to what their heart is kind of whispering to them, the whispers of their heart and their intuition. And so that's been a big thing that changed how I experience everything. And that's why I can, you have more discipline and willpower when you realize that, for example, maybe you're a little bit more tired a certain night, but your tiredness can actually be a searching pendulum in your life, or a certain subconscious pattern that comes to the surface, an old one. And then it's a tendency that tries to pull you away from stepping into more of what you could have. So, maybe you can push yourself to do a little bit more today than you did yesterday. But your old programming, or maybe a certain pendulum, which is maybe you go do this at this time, or you go to this club at this time, like whatever thing you involve yourself in that takes energy, because it takes energy to involve yourself in different scenarios or events. It's an investment every single time. And so to manage your energy, to take inventory of where it's at, and then guide it correctly, that's the whole concept of transurfing, or one of the main things that you can take away from transurfing reality, if you will. So, there's a lot to unpack with, that stuff. Oh my goodness. But you say absolutely you only get a certain amount of energy, so have to put it to good use. But first, it takes a lot of observation to monitor where energy and attention actually goes, then do better. Exactly. So observation, actually, I remember on Lee's channel when I interviewed him, especially on the live stream, he said, or in one of his videos, he talked about in the first initiation, that we have to observe ourselves with such tenacity. And that word tenacity means that it's relentless. You're relentlessly observing yourself to the point to where it's just, you cut out every single thing in the moment that you're in. You cut out every single thought, you cut out every single reaction. You stay present here with yourself. and you take back your energy into yourself. So you have to be ruthless about your level of silence and observation. You have to be ruthless about and disciplined and fervent about your time to observe and not let anything get to you. And to monitor your energy, you can take it's a quick intuitive sense. Like right now, you can quickly monitor your energy and be like, where am I at energetically? Like, how much energy do I have? And you can well manage yourself in that way where it's like, okay, I know I have this much energy, and then this other thing or this other event or this other person, okay, they're actually kind of, you tune into it, you lean into it, you're like, okay, they're taking my energy. And you can kind of trace back a little bit of stuff. And again, like your energy is valuable. So you would, if you're someone that values yourself, you would put time into observing. And also, I mean, talking about transurfing, this is another concept too, where again, rent yourself out, be a detached witness. And when you're a detached witness, then you can see the very things that are clinging onto you, taking your energy, hooking onto your field, your auric field, if you will, and you can deal with it accordingly. Exactly, do better. You're like, healing vibes, Lincoln, much love. Yeah, of course. Sending you a healing, a speedy recovery. So, and then we're back to this quote right here. Silence is a cross on which we must crucify our ego. It's I mean, that's also what observation is silence. And at a certain point, because okay, the cross is a symbol of also stepping in from the physical world into the spiritual world, and it's a symbol of transformation. And so when your I, your personal, your personal I, me, mine, when that is put into the light of observation, it feels like you're being crucified. It feels like you're stepping into another dimension when you put your I, me, or mine, this kind of selfish way of thinking, when you put this into the forefront, then again, it feels like you're being crucified or you're put on the cross. And then you have to crucify your ego. And when your ego gets crucified, you enter into the spiritual world, you access different abilities, you intuitively sense things more. But again, you have to crucify yourself. And that can be, that for some people, that could be scary. And it's not for you. I mean, that's all good. If that's not for you, putting yourself on the cross here, putting your ego or your I, like, because we have blind spots as people, we have different blind spots that prevent us from seeing reality directly. Sometimes we want to see things the way that we want to see it, but to put yourself on the cross and to go silent and to know that you have blind spots, you have a limited way of thinking, we can then start to open up more our minds. But first we have to acknowledge the cross, if you will. And this is where we step into another dimension. And or it's like crossroads, that's kind of like a way to think about it, crossroads, you're crossing into the next dimension, you're crossing into a new way of life, so is why great to connect with others in the same, because doing this is much more challenging than it sounds. No, that's facts. It's facts. When people put their minds together, you can accomplish great things. And especially something like this, by the way, like mystical training, like everyone needs this. Everyone needs to know how to master themselves. This is a baseline fundamental what you should be taught as a person, but we're not taught that. So the fact that we're doing this on our own, like that's huge. That's a huge thing. That, yeah, the fact that we can all challenge ourselves together, it's very big that we do this. and it can only get bigger. I'm not focused. Like my main focus, especially during this time, was just to be present with whoever who comes. As much as you can project in the future, like numbers and how many people will join. At the end of the day, the only thing you can really do is be present with the people that's in front of you and go from there. And be present with anything that's in front of you, and then yeah, go from there. So that's why also I don't really expect much when it comes to this stuff. As much as I have intentions, I have a direct, like, I know what I want from this, but it's the whole playing with being detached, as well as also taking steps forward into or towards your goals and things like that. So you find the balance, and you don't get butthurt about, hey, no one could show up, it doesn't matter to me. you know it's always a party, over here. So it's always good. So, and we'll see who comes our way. We'll see who pops in. So children are great at pointing out our shortcomings. That's a good yeah, they're very direct in their experience. I used to work with kids, and this was one of my first jobs, was working in an after school program. And these kids are savage, like ruthless, like they are who they are, and they'll say things how they see it without any filter. I've had kids that picked on other kids, but they didn't see it as picking on them. They were just kind of just saying what they thought in their head, and they weren't really apologetic about it. You kind of have to get them to really apologize about, oh, they said this, this person, or this kid said this to this person. And it is pretty brutal sometimes, the way they say things, and you do have to correct them in some instances. But a lot of times they'll after just be like, what, I didn't, they'll kind of be like, kind of all innocent, or that's just how I normally see it, or so the kids will be quick on pointing out stuff and saying stuff directly. And it's a and if you don't tend to their every need, or you don't train them in a way to where they'll treat you with respect, they will easily take advantage of your weakness and your lack of maybe attention to detail, or things like that. Those kids can be a little sneaky. And when I was working with kids, they liked me, and I always brought out my inner child around them. And I'm comfortable doing that. I kind of go at their level a little bit, but I'm the kind of person, like, I try to lead by example around kids, because as soon as a kid sees you do something different than what you say, they instantly get on that, and then they find that, or they'll take that as an excuse to do what they want rather than listen to you, because they know you're full of crap. Like, if you're with kids and then you're not leading by example, they'll easily just they'll easily try to find a way around, not, or they'll just not respect you, and they'll just do whatever they want to do and not care about you and tramp all over you. And I've seen it crazy. Some teachers get it bad, or some people get it bad, to where these kids just don't, their class is out of control. It's funny just reflecting back on school too. I don't know if you reflect back on some classes, but there are some teachers that got overrun. I don't know if you remember stuff like that, Donna. Just being in class, and then the few kids were loudmouths, and things just got out of control and chaotic. Yeah, but yeah, they'll easily try to find a place. Like, well, kids will try to displace your footing, and then when they displace your footing, they'll start to play around with your head or your mental space. they'll get in your head quick. They think they're the boss around there, or they're the top dog, and they're like 4 years old, or I don't know, like 8 years old, 10 years old. They'll think they're the hot shot. So sometimes you gotta let them know who's the OG or who knows how to get it done. You're like, yes, we were savage, but it's natural for them to push boundaries. Exactly. They'll find any little hole. I mean, you know about that for sure. Any little hole you have, they'll oh man, they'll dig. They love to dig. I mean, that's what they do, right? They play in the mud. Kids play in the mud, and they'll dig in the mud, be curious. Kids are very curious, and they'll keep on digging inside of you till they find something that they think is interesting, or find something that they think is I don't know, whatever kind of aligns to what their mind is sensing and picking up. Because kids' intuitive sense is very sharp, and they have good intuition that's natural, but they don't think about it as intuition, in the sense of like there's not something else. There's not a rational part yet to tell them that, okay, that's my intuition saying this. They just directly experience something and say it, and then they're like, oh, I said that. They're not thinking of the fact that they're not coming from maybe like a third person place of view, where like they know rationally that they're intuitively picking up on something and directly addressing it when it comes up. So that's kind of what it is that they directly and intuitively face their situations without second thoughts. And so, like, I had respect, so I didn't push it too far, but still remember those days. They can teach us a lot about ourselves, especially the skill of patience. Yeah, you got to be patient with kids, and you can't. I've been a person. It's not on my head. I can't yell at a kid. I don't know what it is. I mean, I could be very stern and very like, all right, like, bring your attention here, kind of thing. Like, be here with me, but I don't like yelling at kids. It's just, I don't know. But again, sometimes you need that sternness and kind of father-like presence in the midst of kids. You gotta show them who's the grandmaster. But again, that means that you have to be smart. You're gonna let the little kids, little kids outsmart you. Let these kids play with your mind. So live in the moment for sure, not tied down to the tomorrow aspect we suffer from as adults. Exactly. I mean, they don't have to. They trust in the universe, and they trust in whatever higher power or authorities that is taking care of them. So they trust in the authorities and the powers that are taking care of them, and they don't worry about tomorrow. And then we can have that same attitude with the universe, right? That the universe is going to take care of us, that God is going to take care of us, and that's, we don't have to worry about tomorrow. There's a verse on that. Take no thought for your life, whether you should eat or drink. Forget where that verse was, but that's just a little bit of it. To not take any thought of your life, what you're going to eat or drink. This is also kind of the essence of fasting and, things like that. Pulling back from your thoughts of hunger and whatever thoughts it could be. And you're like, hey, I know it's late where you are, so feel free to get some rest. You can see it in my eyes a little bit, huh? You can see it in my eyes, but hey, I'll say this. At least for me, I'm a workhorse for sure. I can work a lot of hours if it's necessary. But yeah, when I was, again, before talking about where I come from a little bit, I was really lazy as a person. And I know the extreme side of laziness, where you can't do anything about your life and you're doing nothing. And people, they're growing, you're watching as how everyone from your childhood is growing and developing themselves, and you're sitting back and you're passive and nothing's happening in your life. And when you come from that place of laziness and it's literally rock bottom, I again, I got tired of my shit, and then I got to work, and I got to a point, again, I was working around minimum 60, sometimes all the way up to 80 hours a week, things like that. And when you work those amount of hours, you don't care about how much rest you get. There's no level, there's no ceiling. You just keep going up. Although, again, people will tell you to stop or, get some rest, things like that too. Sometimes, especially in your life, you got to work extra hours, or you got to do more things than it is expected of you, to get things done. And then once you handle those things, then you shift into a season of rest. But again, if you know again, I know what's on my horizon too. And what's on my horizon, my little personal horizon, this is necessary. And I've done it before. I've gotten no sleep some days, and I had to work from 4 p.m. to 11:30. One job I would go 4 p.m. to 11:30, and then take a quick break, and then from 12 to like 6 a.m. you'd work. I mean, I've been in these kind of mental situations, in the trenches, if you will, and I'm a person that I want to chill for sure. I love chilling. Sometimes smoking a joint, chilling back, but when you got to do things, you got to do things. And, so you're saying a willingness to do what it takes to achieve your aim. Exactly. And that's just the masculine principle. You'll die for the cause and for the sake of what you're doing. And that's just it. That's just point blank. But yeah, I'll get some rest for sure soon. I'm just up, like I'm just alert right now and watchful and vigilant. So that's just the way I have to be now. And part of me, this is just a little bit of insight too, but I know I have to step into my kingly nature soon. And that just has to be the case with a lot of things. So that place where you feel your kingly energy, your ability to call things into existence and forth into existence through pure focus. Again, talking about my horizon, just a little bit I can share. It's necessary. I don't know what this is. I mean, again, people can come on their horizons, what they see with themselves, but I didn't want to have to step up like this. But it's just, again, my mindset over the past couple months, years has just been do what's necessary, do what's right. Don't care about how you feel in the moment, wait for victory. You have to make small wins, make small steps forward. Those small wins count. And if you're not making small steps forward and having small wins, then, it's, it gets depressing if you don't do that. And, you have to be present at all times with yourself and attentive. And that's just how I've been. And if I know, again, I kind of in a circle here, but if I know I have to do something, then I have to do it. And so my kingly nature has to be summoned, and that whole archetype has to be put into place for this season. So I'm suffering a little bit for sure, but that's part of the game. Intentional suffering. Maybe you know a little bit about that. Intentional suffering. And yeah, willingness to achieve an aim. So yeah, you probably know about that too. That's what it takes. Badass. Well, yeah, you could say that. You could say that. But don't want to get too cocky now. It's too early to be saying a little bit, to be saying stuff. I'll say that. But that is a little bit of insight if people want to look into a little bit into my soul, because that's what's present, and maybe you feel that same way. So the world needs kings. Like, none of this bullshit with like, oh, like people on social media will joke about it, like, yes, king, or you're king. No, like, the world needs kings. I'll say that. Good kings, if you will, not evil ones. So to people, if they feel that intuitive sense that you're a ruler, self-mastery involves ruling over yourself, ruling over your external environments and creation and the whole creation process. So yeah, I mean, I could, it's 2 hours. I mean, this is a good way to spend the last day, 2 hours just talking to you guys. So if anyone has any other final comments, let me know. But we're gonna get to shout outs on some of the comments soon. But yeah, it's good talking to you guys for a little bit, and good connecting with you guys. It's always good. Again, everyone has their aims. We all come together on the same platform, equal, trying to discipline ourselves and talk about different stuff that is beneficial to ourselves. So yeah, if there's any other final comments, questions, I'll open up just a few more minutes here. But yeah, that just lost track of time. 2 hours. Jeez, 2 hours. I just lose track of time sometimes. I feel like, gee. But yeah, I'll start with some shout outs still as we're going here. First blood goes to Laffy Quins, or first person to comment. We had Cycling pop in saying hello, an OG, Lincoln and OG right here. And shout out to him. And then we got Lincoln from Twitch. The two you got the two sides of Lincoln here, indoors, outdoors. We had Donna, another OG, And I love this verse, by the way, just doing a little recap. Think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. So it's a good verse right there. Yeah, shout out to that butterfly. I came in. Look at a little recap. Still here. That's crazy. Yeah, shout out to that butterfly. That's a good sign. Good sign. And we had a bit of fucking spam comment on here. But yeah, Jose, man. Yeah, Jose, come on. So shout out to him. And yeah, we'll probably get an episode. We'll get an episode out for you guys here. And you guys should tune into that as well. But yeah, without further ado, thank you for whoever had just joined on the live stream. Thank you, Donna, and others for the comments. And we'll be back with some more stuff soon. So everyone, take care. And the discipline and the grind doesn't stop. So neither should you. So with that being said, peace out, everyone. Have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening.